back to KTR videos. So today's a bit special and different because for the first time ever, I will be making a tutorial video on how to draw the super cute limited edition Shopkins Pretty Puff. Now, a lot of you have been asking for me to make a tutorial video, and I could never do it in the past because the drawings that I do take 4 to 5 hours to complete, and so the video would just be much too long. But we decided that today we would give it a shot, and instead of using the colored pencils that I usually use, we're going to use things that you guys might have in the house as well, such as crayons and markers. So stay tuned if you want to learn how to draw Pretty Puff. Okay, so when I'm drawing any picture at all, whether it's Shopkins or a portrait or anything, I always start off with the eyes. So right now, to do the eyes, I just draw a simple circle, and then I individually add each eyelash. So I do the top one, and then the 2 bottom ones. So as you can see, and then I just work on drawing in the pupil and the iris of the eye as well. And I'm just basically copying off of this picture. So in this case, it's just going to be a black iris and a white pupil. So I'm going to go ahead and draw the next one. And as far as how much space to leave, I really just focus and look at the picture. So in this case, I'm going to add like a 1-inch gap, more or less. It doesn't have to be exact. Okay guys, I went ahead and grabbed the picture. That should make it easier. But anyway, so what I do is when I draw the eyes first, it allows me to use them as the base for which I draw everything else. So if you look over here, I can see how much distance I'm going to need from the eyes as the focal point. So the nose over here, as you can see, is not right below the eyes, but it kind of sits somewhere a little bit up above it. So as you can see, I just drew it right over there. And then the mouth, I'm just gonna draw right below the lips. It sits pretty close. The upper lip sits pretty close to the nose. So I'm just gonna kind of lightly sketch in. It's almost like a little M, kind of. And then I'm just gonna work on the bottom lip. The bottom lip just kind of comes down a little bit here. So she has like a thicker lip, but a small mouth, so to speak. So here we go. And then the center of her mouth, it's not really, it's kind of hard to make out in this picture, but I think it's more just like a little circle. So I'm just gonna draw a little circle for this picture. Okay, so now that we have her eyes, her nose, and her mouth, we're going to, based on the picture and based on the face that we have drawn, we're going to determine the distance from the eyes to the edge of her body, or the bottle in this case. So I'm going to say it's about here. And as you can see, it curves. So it's not a straight line up or anything like that. So it kind of curves. So now I'm going to go ahead and draw straight across here, you guys. Just slowly for the top part. And then I'm going to slowly draw the other side. Alright, now as you can see, I'm just drawing the bottom here. Just a straight line across, so that's pretty easy. Again, don't worry if it's not exactly straight, guys, because you can fix that when you start to add the color. Alright guys, now we're going to focus on the top portion, and really it's simple. The first part, it's just a bunch of shapes. Like the first part's a rectangle, divided up in triangles. So I'm just going to go ahead and draw a straight line, as you can see here. So I'm going to go ahead and draw across. Let me make sure this is straight enough here and that it goes high enough. So now here we go across, and again, it doesn't have to be perfect. Alright, and now let's go ahead and add the triangles. I'm going to start it from the corner, and then from there, just go up and down to make those shark teeth or triangles, however you see them. Here we go. And again, this part doesn't have to be perfect. It's not like just because she has 3 triangles here that you have to have exactly 3 triangles. It doesn't have to be that way, just as long as you're getting the gist of the picture. And then we're looking at a circle with part of its top cut off here. So it's going to be a circular motion here, curved up, and then it kind of cuts straight across. So I'm going to cut straight across. And then I'm going to complete the other side. Okay, I'm going to just thicken this part here a little bit just to kind of even out this circle. Although it's not quite a circle, is it? Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to draw the top part, which is a triangle. It looks like an upside down triangle with the tip cut off. So I'm just going to draw a little bit at an angle. I'm going to draw up here, as you can see, as I did. Again, it's like an upside down triangle. Okay guys, now let's go ahead and draw the top here. And by the way, I'm not drawing the triangle, but you can draw a complete upside down triangle and then later inside the circle, erase the tip. Okay, anyway, so as you can see, I'm not gonna have room here for the little puff here. So I'm gonna have to actually put it on this side. I did not exactly plan for that correctly. So I'm just basically just going to reverse what you see in this picture. So rather than the puff being on the left-hand side, I'm going to draw it on the right-hand side. So let's go ahead and start off with just the simple hand that is on the right-hand side of the picture, but in this case, the left-hand side of my picture. And I'm just gonna, let's see, I'm just kind of looking to see where it lines up with the eyes. And it's about here. And it has a little bit of the arm showing on the outside, so I just drew that there. And I just kind of come around, loop around a little bit. And now I'm just gonna erase part of the bottle that shows, part of the edge that shows in there on that arm. And there we go. And now I'm going to add the little tube that runs from the top to the bottom a little bit. So right over here, if you look over here. So I'm going to draw that in. So it just goes across. And then it's going to come feeding down and then over just a little bit. Okay, now let's go ahead and draw the little puffer thing here. I'm not exactly sure what that's called, but anyway, so I'm just gonna kind of lightly sketch that in. It's not exactly an oval. It's a bit of like lopsided a little bit, so it doesn't have to be perfect here because it's not perfect in the picture either. So it's almost like egg-shaped, more or less. There we go. I'm gonna draw at an angle. So if you look at this, it's kind of, like I said, like a triangular shape. Draw the lines in here. And then we have left the little ball itself here. So okay, now that we have that drawn in, you guys, let's go ahead and add the lines and this little puffer thing here. And it's just, again, as I always say, it doesn't have to be perfect. Let me first add that hand. I almost forgot about that. Okay, but anyway, back to the lines. The lines that I see, I think there's just like 2 or 3 going horizontally and across. So I'm just gonna draw those in. That's about right. And then let's draw the vertical ones, the ones that go up and down. There we go. And do one more down here. Okay. Okay guys, before we get started on the coloring, I just want to point something out. Part of the reason why some people can make their pictures look very three-dimensional or realistic is because they pay a lot of attention to the different colors in the picture. So if you look over here, she's not just pink, but she's light pink up here and dark pink down here. So, and then even over here, if you look up here, there's some gray tones mixed in with a little bit of brown tones in there. So that being said, we decided to make this more realistic for you guys in case you don't have access to some of the expensive colored pencils. We decided that we're gonna go ahead and use some crayons and markers. So I'm just gonna use your typical Crayola crayons, and the colors that I'm using is Carnation Pink. That's my lighter shade of pink that I'm gonna be using. And this is called Pink Flamingo. This is a darker shade of pink that I'll be using at the bottom. And for the gray parts, like up here, I'll be using a color called Timber Wolf. And that's my lighter shade of gray. And then I went ahead and grabbed a color called Beaver, and it's like a grayish brown color that I'm gonna use to add a little bit of the accents to it. And then last but not least, I'm gonna use a marker, and I like to use the markers for outlining the picture before coloring it in with the crayons. Okay guys, we're going to start off with the eyes. Now for the eyes, I'm going to use the black marker because the eyes are pretty solid in color and I want to make sure that we maintain that. So everything else I'm probably going to be using the crayons for, but we'll see. So we're going to start off by just outlining and then shading in the pupil. So let's go ahead and start off with her eyelashes. I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the next eye. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna color in the eyelashes, outline the eye, and then color in the pupil. Okay, so there are the eyes, and already they're like popping out of the picture, and that's because markers are really good for that solid color. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and move on to the nose and the eyes. And to do that, I'm going to first outline them using this marker right here. And this marker, it's a dark pink marker. I don't see the name of the color, by the way. That's why I didn't give it to you. But anyway, it's just a darker shade of pink. Okay, now that I did that, I'm gonna go ahead and color in her lips, and I'm gonna use my darker shade of pink, the flamingo pink, for her lips. You just wanna make sure you really color it in nicely, because that solid color is what makes pictures look so nice. To color in the nose, I am also going to use the dark pink for it. Okay, next I'm going to take my dark pink marker and I'm going to go ahead and outline the body of Pretty Puff, and then we'll start coloring her in. So let's go ahead and take our marker and we're just gonna go over the lines. Next, we're going to take our darker shade, again the pink flamingo, and I'm just gonna go ahead and start shading her down here at the bottom. And if you notice, she's pretty dark until you get to, I would say, about where her hand is, so over here. And so that means she's just gonna be dark all the way up here, around her mouth, all of that stuff. So I'm just gonna kind of start coloring and shading in and building up that color. So we're gonna take our crayon or whatever it is that you're using, and we're gonna start coloring her in. Now I'm gonna go ahead and just lightly draw that line. Her hand has a little bit of light in there as well, so I'm just gonna only color half of it. I'm gonna draw that line right there. And let's see, she has a little bit of the darkness over about here. So it's gonna go well over her mouth, even in between her nose. And like that. So I'm not sure if you can really see the line, but I just kind of lightly colored that line in there, just so I know more or less where to stop. It's always better to do less, because you can always add more if you need to. Okay, now I'm going to go back and add a little bit more. Okay, so I might still add another layer, I'm not sure yet, but I'm just gonna go ahead and move on to her hand. And the bottom part of her hand is darker, so I'm gonna go ahead and shade that in. And then this part is a lighter pink, so I'm gonna switch over to my light pink, which is the carnation pink. And I'm gonna color that top part up here. Okay guys, for the rest of this picture over here, I'm gonna go ahead and use that light pink because it looks like the rest of it's pretty much light. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay guys, I'm gonna bring two more colors into this. I have Wild Strawberry, and I also have Razzmatazz, Razzmatazz. Right now I'm gonna start off with Wild Strawberry, and I'm gonna add a little bit of this to the light pink, just to kind of bring out a little bit of that red. Okay, now I'm gonna do the same thing using Razzmatazz. I'm just gonna add one layer throughout. Okay, so I'm gonna stop there for now, and I'm going to move on to this part of the drawing right here, her little perfume puffer thing. To start off, I'm gonna take my marker again, and I'm gonna go ahead and outline the entire thing. Okay, and now I'm gonna go and start with my dark pink, the pink flamingo, and I'm gonna go ahead and color just a few of these down here, that dark pink. Because if you look closely at this picture before I start, as you can see in the center, it's lighter, and then on the edges, on the upper edge and the lower edge, it's darker. So I'm gonna go ahead and color a couple of these. So I'm gonna stop there for now and go ahead and mix some color. So that was pink flamingo. I'm gonna put that off to the side because I'm gonna need that again. And next I'm gonna take Razzmatazz. Okay, and I don't think that looks too bad, so I'm gonna stop there for now. And now I'm gonna go ahead and repeat those two steps, pink flamingo again, and I'm gonna go ahead and just color a couple of these up here. And now I'm gonna add Razzmatazz. And now in here, it has like a little bit of a lighter tone, so I think I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna mix my light pink, the carnation pink. I'm gonna go ahead and do this first. And then I'm going to take my dark pink, the flamingo pink, or the pink flamingo. And there we go. So I'm gonna leave it like that for now, and we're gonna go ahead and color her hand in here. There was a part of her hand right there. And let's see, we'll do our light pink. And now the dark pink, I'm gonna add a little bit. And just like that. So there we go so far. And let's go ahead and color in this top part here. Now up here, it is very dark. If you look over here, so the top part of this is very dark. So I'm gonna go ahead and use my darker pink for that. And I'm going to add a little bit of wild strawberry. Now I'm going to use Razzmatazz. And there we go. So, and you can make it even darker if you'd like. Okay, now let's go ahead and color in this part. This is actually pretty dark, minus one of them. So I'm going to color this one with my dark pink flamingo. And the rest of it as well. I'm leaving this one empty because that's going to be the lightest one. This is Razzmatazz that I'm using right now. And now I'm going to use my carnation pink, the light pink. for that one. And again, that's just because if you look closely at this picture, that's how they have it. They have that little glare right there. Okay, now we get to work on the top half. Okay, so to start off, I'm actually going to outline this with a gray or silver marker. I actually forgot about choosing this until now, so if you are doing this along with me, go ahead and grab some kind of dark marker. You can even use black, but in this case, I'm gonna use silver. Gray will do as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and outline this part. Now let's go ahead and get to coloring this part, and let me move it down just a bit for you guys so you guys can see what I'm gonna do here. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take my gray, which is the Timber Wolf, and I'm gonna go ahead and shade the entire thing in. Okay guys, I'm gonna give this one more layer before I add any of the darker brown shades in there. And this color is a metallic crayon. It's called Sonic Silver. It's not really that metallic-y, but the color is a nice darker gray. So I'm gonna go ahead and add a layer throughout the entire thing. Okay, now if you look at this picture, hopefully you can see what I'm talking about. You're gonna see that it has like darker shades of brown in there and stuff like that. It actually has like a brown undertone as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and do two things with this crayon. And this is, by the way, my beaver crayon. I'm going to add a layer of this throughout the entire thing, a very light layer. And then I'm gonna go back and add darker accents using the same crayon. So first, let's go ahead and add a light layer. Okay, and now that I did that, now I'm gonna add just a little bit of dark areas using this crayon. So starting up here, there's like a line of brown like right there. So I'm gonna add that here, just very lightly. I'm not sure how this is gonna come out. The colored pencils, it comes out great. Not sure how this is gonna come out with crayons. So something like that. So it's gonna make it look like it has like a little bit of shine to it. Here as well. So I'm just going in the middle of the circle here, and I'm just gonna add a little bit of this brown. I'm just pressing lightly, not too light. Like I'm putting a little bit of pressure just so that the color will actually stand out. So like that. And when you come here to the triangle part, it looks like all of the bottom triangles are dark. So I'm gonna okay, so that's dark. And then the little bit on this side is dark as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and shade in about half of that triangle. Now remember, my picture is reversed. So it's the side of where she doesn't have the puff. So it's on the side where her hand is. So this one, and it's half of that triangle is dark. So or just about the whole thing really. So I'm gonna go ahead and color that triangle in. Okay, and I think the rest of it's pretty good. I think they have little touches here and there. So I'll do like the corner of this triangle. I don't know if you can see what I just did right there. Just adding a little bit. Like that. All right, and then I'm gonna add a little bit of touches over here as well. Well guys, here is Pretty Puff completely finished and colored in only using crayons and markers. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy this video and want us to make more tutorial videos, be sure to hit the like button and leave us a comment down below with other characters that you would like to see. Well guys, I guess that's it. Until next time, bye! Thanks so much for watching. If you liked this video and want to see more like it, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe. Also, don't forget to check out our Spanish channel.